For $30, this is a value, man.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Collecting Brothers. I'm John, and this is Josh. Welcome back. We're talking toys. That's what we do every week here. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's get a quick update on the space zombies from Mars. Last week when we were covering them, they were at 40,123 with 342 backers with 11 days to go. Today we're looking at them at 58,469, 400 backers, and 4 days left to go. Yeah, they're wrapping up here pretty soon, and we'll see. They're coming up on halfway. I think they'll hit halfway before the 4 days, and we never know what the big push is going to be at the end, right?
Yeah. Big push should be maybe like around 20K, I would say. 20, 25, 30. They haven't even 30K, but yeah, we'll see. Because, even if a project doesn't make it, there's other ways that people can like bring their project to life,
Yeah.
This is not the end all be all,
That's right. Yeah, this is not the end of Space Zombies from Mars, let alone the Nameless Toy Company. They're going to be coming back in different form. We'll see what that looks like later on, though. But yeah, you got a couple more days here. Wrap it up. I think April 1st is the last day. Like officially, April 1st is the last day. So get your pledges in, friends. If you're digging these zombies, you're digging these spacesuits, you're digging this line, and maybe you want to just support this toy company and see what else they come out with. I love the sculpts, man. I think Ira or Arlen did a really great job on these, and Adam did a good job on the Kickstarter, man, on the logistics. So really,
fun toys, good colors. I love kind of the backstories of each character. It just, even though the sculpts are very similar, I just think that added head sculpt, the different head sculpt, and then the unique bios really make all the figures super different. It just kind of sucks that their Kickstarter coincided with Baratheer, with Mythic Legion's dragon. Because I think like it just took everybody's money because that thing was such a masterpiece, and people were saying it's beautiful, it's perfect, it's like once in a life. Like if you don't pre-order it now, you're gonna be screwed, and so and people are even saying even that dragon figure alone, people are saying you can probably resell that for like $200 because there's a lot of people on like the Cabal saying I don't want the dragon, but I just want the figure, right? And
of course,
it really sucks because I feel like these are really good figures, good articulation, good sculpt, good paint, everything, man. And I hope we can make it to the goal, but it's just bad timing.
Yeah, I would love to see this get made. I'm with you on that, but yeah, bad timing for sure. And Mythic changed kind of, right? They were initially going to drop the dragon, I think in March, right?
And they pushed it back. You're right. Yeah, they
earlier, and then they had to move it back. So maybe they were kind of stuck on their launch date, just kind of a bummer. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. Next up here, we got a Toyline exclusive that's happening this weekend down in Georgia. We got an Operation Monster Force, Lieutenant Griffith the Eraser, right? So it's the Hollow Man, the Invisible Man, or whatever. But they are going to have him in stock. Previously, we were kind of worried about Monster Force, or was it Action Force? I can't remember. But they were saying you could only pre-order the exclusive. They weren't going to have actual figures.
Oh, yeah.
But they are going to have the Eraser here in hand. Pick up that day. $40 there, and you only get one per day. So kind of cool that they actually do have a figure.
Yeah, but just looking at the figure, sometimes I really like translucent figures, but I feel like this figure is just super, super basic, and I feel like the purple, does it make sense with this character? Kinda, I guess.
It's a cool color.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really I mean, it's a convention exclusive, so it's a throwaway. Yeah.
Let's keep going here. 4 Horsemen. We've got a quick update for Baratheer. As we were talking about, that is going until April 6th, I believe. But the fiery wings, or the fiery breath pack, the breath, right? The head and the fire breath has fully funded. Everything's been unlocked, so the fire guy gets an upgrade. That's been the favorite, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I think so. Just because of I mean, you could say the dragon's been the favorite because technically the dragon has more units, right? So dragon is definitely the favorite. Straight up dragon. True.
Yeah. So the dragon's been unlocked, fully funded, and they're coming up on some. Let's see here. Baratheer is at 2,197 units sold. So they're coming up on their 2,500 to unlock Sir Bendigar, the upgrade set for Sir Bendigar. And the Epic Wings has been unlocked as well. That was a close one. They're at 1,047. And that was updated as of the 27th, so this morning.
And man, this campaign has been just growing every day, like huge support from like the Mythic Legions fandom. I feel like
Yeah.
everybody came out and showed out, dropping hundreds of dollars. Everybody be dropping hundreds of dollars into this. I think, dude, I knew Fire Breath was going to go all the way, but I
Right.
was kind of thinking Epic Wings might just get unlocked and not hit the stretch. Dude, I think both sets get fully stretched everything. And I think even Baratheer, I don't know. I feel like we get to 3,500, man. Because like we talked about in the past episode, like I haven't put my order in because I'm waiting till the very last day. And I feel like there's a lot of people like me where they're waiting for the last day so they can
Yeah.
set up those
Yeah.
like installment payments and like prolong it as long as
As
possible.
far as you can.
Yeah, right. Because I don't want to pay it right now if I can pay it 2 weeks
later.
down the line, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So, dude,
2 weeks is a paycheck, you know.
that I feel like that last day, easy thousand orders, easy 1,000 orders.
Okay. Yeah, they're in their lull right now. They're in the middle of their campaign. We'll see how big of a jump they get when this comes up April 6th.
When does April 6th ends?
I believe April 6th, yeah, is the final day to back it.
What is that, like a week and a half, kind of? Yeah.
April 6th. Yeah, April 6th.
So we got like a week and a half left. Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming up here on the end.
Dude, but yeah, like even if it ended just now, like just looking at this right here, that's a success, right? Everything's unlocked and even Fire Breath all the way stretch goal. Like,
yeah, every single
thing
crowdfund has unlocked.
So like no kind of really wasted effort besides like because those are just the Ashen Skills is just a repaint, you know, who cares about that?
Yeah, everything else is just bonus, right?
Yeah.
From here on out. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's jump over to NECA. NECA's giving us a 35th anniversary TMNT 1990 movie 5-pack. Now, it is currently sold out. It has pre-sold out, $170. But let's take a look at here. You're getting the Turtle Boys with the, I believe, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive glow-in-the-dark Splinter, right? Or translucent Splinter.
Yeah, this is really cool, I think, just to get a second chance for collectors to get a second chance at Splinter. I mean, it kind of sucks because they kind of boxed it in with the whole other turtle set. Because this was not the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. This was the what was that like?
Loot Crate.
Loot Crate. Yeah, this was the Loot Crate exclusive. And so good that people have a chance at that. Because that Loot Crate, it was like if you didn't pre-order it, like it was like 6 months in advance, you tough luck. You had to go on eBay and pay like $150 for it.
Yeah.
And man, dude, it's a good, like, this is a good translucent figure. You know, like sometimes people just slap on translucent for nothing, like that Monster Force thing. It's just, what the freak is this? This thing,
it's perfect.
It's perfect. The gradient, like you can still see at the top of his head, like some brown coming in, right? Because that's where the least amount of fire would hit, right? And so they're taking into account even like the movie, like such attention to detail by NECA. The cloak is amazing. And the fact that fireplace, you know, lights up and it just lights up that figure too.
It's the scene. It's the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of bummed that it is in the 5-pack there. I would have liked to gotten it, but yeah, I'm not going to buy another set of shirts.
Yeah, because it's not worth it just for one. Yeah, $170, dude. That's crazy. Because each figure, is like, well, turtles usually they usually were like 30 back in the day. So that's like 30, 60, 90, 120. It's like a $50 Splinter.
Do you know you can still pick up the Danny figure from Big Bad Toy Store?
No way. Like the full Loot Crate box or just the figure?
The full Loot Crate with the shirt or whatever that came with.
Really? How much is it?
I don't know. I added it to my cart.
Was it like pretty like expensive or was like around? Because the Loot Crates,
how much did it go for?
They went for like 50 plus shipping. So it would be like, I probably end up paying like $60, you know?
Let me see here. 90. 99, right?
Not too bad of a markup, like 50% markup. Too bad.
And it's actually, so they were soliciting it for 140, but they have so many that it's at 35% off right now. So $90.
Hey, they're still making a profit. They bought it for probably 50 or $60. So
yeah. I'm tempted. I put it in my cart. I'll be honest.
Dude, hold the line.
I need a Danny, dude.
Do you?
And I can get the shirt in my size.
And that's a really good, like, I think with this, like, something we should address is like, I think there was multiple figures that were Loot Crate exclusives, which was the Splinter, the Danny, and also, you know, the Dark Donatello, and there was a couple other cartoon figures that were Loot Crate exclusive.
Yeah, there's like a Splinter one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's even like the blue, like a Shredder. I have the Shredder, the Mirage Shredder.
Oh, Shredder.
Damage Mirage Shredder.
Yeah.
And so now that this is the first figure that is being released from the Loot Crate, I would expect, like, everybody, if you've been holding out for your Danny, you've been holding out, like, you have that missing hold, the Dark Donatello and that Mirage Shredder. Like, I bet they're going to release all of them. Maybe like in these like big bulk sets where they sucker you into rebuy some of the figures from them, you know?
by come from the vault, bring them back out. They also, you get
Mm.
these little like postcards too, which I think are nice little backdrops. Not sure on the size of them, but it's fun. It's fun to have. So, all right, let's take it over to McFarlane Toys. Just got a pretty picture here of Doctor Strange or Adam Strange, I can't remember, and the Deadshot, like the classic versions, right? So really cool
Oh
little
yeah,
print.
your Turbo Man doll, classic Deadshot. Yeah, these are good.
Terrible red dog. Next up, though, this one's really cool. I like the aesthetic that he was able to pull off on this, but it is the Batman Year 2 Batman. And this is gonna be the part of the collector's edition. I think this one, it's fun. I like this look. This is very, very Batman. So next up, though, we got the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And man, this thing cooked. It is currently pre-sold out on Entertainment Earth. It's part of the Page Punchers, $27.99. You get the comic and the Wonder Woman, or sorry, Supergirl. I think the reason this thing's sold out is that head sculpt, man, and the hair. I think is why it's sold out. But what do you think?
Yeah, it looks good. Cape looks good. And even like the sculpt, I get why you called it Wonder Woman because like those legs and that skirt, like it kind of reminds you of Wonder Woman. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
were the page punchers always 27.99, or is this like the increased price that they've adjusted for?
It's an increased price. We'll get into that in a little bit. They McFarlane put out a little comment about it, but yeah, a little bit of a price hike there that we're seeing. But I mean, you are getting soft goods. It's a fully wired cape around the edges and the bottom, and you get a comic book and the fun little sword there. So they're doing what they can, man. And again, it pre-sold out, so it's generally when a DC figure pre-sells out, the consensus is positive towards it. So next up on the page punchers, we got the Superman from Kingdom Come. This gives off the red sun Superman, right? Have you ever heard of that story? It's like if Superman landed in Russia instead of America.
Yeah.
I love that, man. $27.99, due out May 2025. Currently pre-sold out at Entertainment Earth. But yeah, look, it's that Alex Ross, dude. Look at that Alex Ross on the cover, man. Gotta love that. This one though, they chose not to add a wire at the bottom of it, but it is on the sides. So
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I don't, as long as it's sides, that's all I need.
yeah, it really is all you need. You get the more expressive hands as well with the Alex Ross Superman picture there, Kingdom Come. Really cool. Next up, we're getting that 2-pack of Grim Knight versus Killer Croc. They're calling it
Yeah.
Batman. Yeah, it's the Grim Knight. That's gonna be a GameStop exclusive. So that's how Todd's kind of getting away with putting the Grim Knight back out there. $70 there for that 2-pack. And yeah, no, the Grim Knight's new, man. Like that, the belting and the suit, different color, different belt.
Yeah, because
looks
it's like more toned down, actually. I feel like the first Grim Knight was way more crazier and had way more stuff to it.
it was like all black, right? It was all
Yeah.
black. Yeah.
And I feel like I had more guns. Like it was crazier. I feel like all decked out. This one's kind of toned down, which is kind of nice.
And you get the Killer Croc in that cool green. I do like the green that they got going for him there. All right, next up, we're getting a Cowardly Lot Batman, $26.99. So at GameStop here, get the drape cape, just a different version of Batman. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's why I'm like more and more grateful that kind of he lost the license and that Mattel can take it over. Because, dude, like with these reveals, they're good figures. Like, no, don't get me wrong, he does such a good job with them. But I need more variety. I cannot get Superman and Batman every single time, man. I just get sick of it. Like I can't get excited. Like I love toys, but I can't get excited. It's just like this is a great Batman figure, but how many great Batman figures do I have already?
And
like
how many more do you need, right?
Yeah, like he's got to do villains, other characters, man. Come on.
Yeah.
He never learned, and he never will. That's why he lost it.
All right, let's talk about the comment that he made there. So, this is McFarlane, right? This is like coming from their actual, account. They're saying due to the 20% tariff imposed on imports from China to the United States, some of our products will see price increases effective immediately. We have worked hard to minimize the impact and have limited these adjustments to only certain items. As always, our priority is to bring fans the best products at the most affordable prices possible. We appreciate your continued support and understanding. And I believe Todd, right? Todd's always trying to hold that line,
yeah.
Right?
Todd baby always does right by the fans. Always he's been holding that $20 price point. One of the last fighters there.
Exactly. And so like it's just good to hear it from them so that way it's not just something that's happening. And it also is interesting to see like the effects that these tariffs are potentially going to have on toys and toy companies and stuff. I know there's some lobbyists that are trying to like explain to the people that are imposing tariffs that like, hey, like toys can't, right? Because like they're trying to say like tariffs needed are so that we buy more American products, right? That are American made, but like toys will never be made in America, unfortunately, at those price points, right? Like the infrastructure, the training, the skill set that is needed to make toys is already established, well established, and has always been established in China. And so it's a very hard transition. And so there are people trying to argue against it, like just leave toys out of it, which is nice as a toy collector. But we'll see what happens here and what other companies also get those price increases.
Yeah, this is pretty scary. Just with inflation, we've already kind of collectors have kind
Yeah.
of bitten the bullet and paid higher prices due to inflation these last couple of years. And
Yeah.
now with the tariffs, it's going even higher. And like if McFarlane's doing this, you can bet your bottom dollar that Hasbro's going to follow suit. That
Yeah.
who else? Just everybody, right? Because this is
Yeah.
something that they just can't eat, right? They're going to pass it
Yeah.
on to us. They're not going to eat it.
And that's the thing, like, and that's like what I like taught here, right? Where they have worked to minimize the impact. They've tried to eat the cost. They've tried different things, right, to try and make it so that our price points stay the same for them, but they just can't, right? The overhead and the cost just is too much. So, all right, let's keep it going here. Marvel Legends. I just want to shout out Wayne Collectors. He has an in hand of the what is that? The Spider-Man PS
video game. Yeah.
Yeah, the PS5 Spider-Man game. Venom, dude. And look at that size of him, dude. That's the dead Venom pool, right?
Agent Venom.
It's massive, dude. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, that thing is huge. Like, holy crap. Like, yeah, because that Venom pool is huge. So,
yeah. And it's got a couple inches on it.
Yeah. No, that's going to be a great figure.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a fun figure there. So, shout out. Thank you, Wayne Collectors. Check him out on Instagram for sharing that picture of that in hand comparison. Let's keep it going here. The Gamerverse Kingpin is also up for pre-order on Amazon. $39.99, looking good. And Ira also sculpted this. The guy that did the Space Zombies from Mars. It's kind of fun.
This is a great sculpt, and I see people complaining that it doesn't really look like the video game reference. And I looked at the video game reference, and it is true. It doesn't really capture how he looks like in the video game from the face wise, what I'm referring to. But I feel like it's still like a great head sculpt. Like I love how like bulbous and kind of the big features are.
The jowls, man. I think that's the cheeky stuff. Yeah, I think that's great. All right, next up here, they also announced a fan stream, dude. It's been fan stream after fan stream. We got the Joe, we got Star Wars, and now Marvel Legends coming back around. I feel like they just had a fan stream, but April 1st, friends, keep an eye out, and we'll go ahead and make sure that we cover that for you as well.
Oh yeah, I love it. I don't know why, but I can't. I can never get time for Marvel Legends. Something about Marvel Legends, man. I love them.
And they're making changes, right? They're improving, and so it's always good to see. It makes you feel better picking one up. All right, let's jump over to Jada Toys. Jada Toys has officially solicited the Tony the Tiger. Great. Everyone's been saying that. $29.99 due out May 2025. And again, we've seen pictures of this, but it's fun just to get the beautiful pictures. And yeah, dude, there's just something that's like, man, this is just, you have to have a Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, even just beyond the land. Dude, look at that basketball with that translucent effect, spinning effect piece. Insane. And the articulation, honestly, it's more than I could have asked for on a Tony the Tiger figure.
Yeah, it's 3 pieces.
Yeah, more than I could have asked for. And then I think the colors are coming off so vibrant, so crisp. Like this thing, hopefully it comes out like this, right? But like those lines and those white lines, man, dude, Hasbro needs to take a note from Jada Toys because I don't know how they're getting these lines that crisp on that figure, especially like it's not just on flat surfaces, right? It's on curves. And even if you look at the chest piece at breakage where the chest piece like breaks, So dude, man, the colors, this for $30, this is a value, man.
Yeah, man. I agree with you, man. And and maybe I just have a better attachment to Tony, right? It's like they did do those like Frankenberries and the Count Chocula.
Dude, yeah, I saw those at Ross's, and even at discount, I didn't pick them up.
Right, me too. Yeah. But like this Tony, and the soft goods ascot, like the handkerchief thing, man.
Dude, and the fact that Tony plays basketball, you can have him versus your starting lineup, LeBron James, your starting lineup, Steph Curry, dude. Imagine those shots with the hoop.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah, with your Mayflex MJ. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. You get a bowl of cereal too. You get a bowl of Frosted Flakes, man. I love that. That's a great.
And also, I love Frosted Flakes. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why I like this figure too, because I freaking love Frosted Flakes, man.
There you go. There's that connection you have. All right, let's jump over to Diamond Select here. Just to get a little Muppets 2-pack here. We got New Zealand and Lips. So just again, more characters from Diamond Select. But let's get to the juicy bit here.
Dude, wait.
Oh,
Go back to that. Shout out the freaking print work on that shirt. Look how intricate that shirt is. I think about this figure. This is not like a 6-inch figure. This is more small. It's smaller than that because they're
smaller
Muppets.
than it. Yeah.
Probably like a 4 or 5-inch figure. And so that detail, man, that I don't know how they did that, but that's good print work right there.
But let's get to this news here. Alliance Entertainment, which is primarily a tabletop game company with some like, they do merch, pop culture merch as well, has acquired Diamond Select, Diamond Distributors, right? So that includes Diamond Select. Now, in the press release, they didn't say if that includes Gentle Giant Studios or if Gentle Giant is going to be sold off independently or if that's included in this Diamond acquisition. But they have a buyer, so they've been bought.
Hey, that's good because that means that we're still going to get comics from Diamond and still we're going to get action figures from Diamond.
Yeah.
And, and also too, like maybe because somebody buys it, there can be positive changes, like maybe having a better timetable for figures and like just making things better for collectors. Maybe even saying, well, let's try a 6-inch, right? Because you can see the money's in 6-inch, maybe go to 6-inch. So hopefully we can see some changes maybe to Diamond.
Generally speaking, when a company does get bought out, right, like there's usually a change of guard. They do keep some people on, right? But there's usually
there's a reason why your company's down in the dumps. They're gonna fire. They're gonna fire the top people. That's usually they clean house usually. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. You want to establish a new set of new standard and stuff. So we'll see what the future holds for Diamond. And like as we said, when they filed for bankruptcy, was not the end of them. They're going to be bought up or caught up or whatever. And so here it is, Alliance Entertainment, and Alliance, from what I've read, is like in the nerd world. They make tabletop games, right? So that's good.
Yeah. So they're in good hands. Yeah, they're in good hands.
Yeah. All right, Star Wars Black Series. We got little reveals here from a fan stream. First up here is the Ezra Bridger from the Ahsoka series. So the old Ezra, the live action Ezra. Yeah, this one looks good, man. It's Black Series. They do a great job on those sculpts. And I don't know. You tell me, Josh. You see the actor that's in the face sculpt there?
Black Series usually does a phenomenal job with face sculpts, but I feel like this one, like it's not bad, but I feel like it's not up to like the standard that I usually see. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a 10 out of 10. Like I would say this is like an 8 out of 10. Like it's good, but it's not exactly like the actor, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was kind of like feeling the same, just like something slightly off. I see him in there, but just something slightly off.
To me, I think this figure looks older because I feel like in the show, yes, he does have a beard, but he looks like he's maybe like a 30-year-old, 35-year-old guy, right? He's not like that crazy old. Here, it looks like this is like a 45-year-old, 50-year-old kind of dude, And so I think that's what's throwing me off. And it could be just because he has that beard, and so it's hard to capture that youthfulness of that actor.
True.
So it makes it look older for some reason.
Yeah. Great to have them there. Get the live action Ezra. And I think that's everyone, right? Everyone that's alive, at least. I guess Jason still hasn't been made, but we'll see if that gets made.
Who's Jason Segula. Jason Segula, yeah.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah. Next up, though, we're getting a Night Trooper. So this is like the Death Troopers that got zombified by the Night Sisters and all the bandage forms. And so you got your Captain Enoch now, you got your zombified stormtroopers, and here's the Night Troopers, the Death Troopers, man. These are fun, dude. I dug these from the show, personally.
Yeah, and even though this is a Death Trooper, like, I don't think there's any reuse, 100% new sculpt because of the wraps, because of the, the gold kind of inlays on there. Yeah, and then the head sculpt. And then people were kind of complaining, they're like, why is he overweight? Why does he look fat? But I think it is, I can't really tell, but I think on the side, I think the armor is like, is it ripped on the side? So that's why it's kind of like open, like the actual breastplate. Can't really tell.
Yeah, let me see if I can find a picture.
It kind of looks like it. It's just hard to see it. Maybe not, actually.
I can't tell. We only have one angle here. Dang.
Yeah, it's hard. Because I'm wondering maybe if the breastplate's ripped open and that's why it kind of looks that. But if that's not the case, it does look a little bloated, man. It does look a little like fat. Were they kind of fatter in the show? I never seen the show, so because Death Troopers, according to Rogue One, they're skinny, tall, and thin. Yeah. This guy looks like he been eating too much freaking.
You know what? I have not that carefully looked at those.
Well, I
Those
think if you
characters.
didn't notice it in the show, then they probably were skinny. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if it didn't stand out to you, it probably was on the skinnier side. So
But
this maybe is like not.
they only showed up for a little bit. Like they were the stormtroopers were there. Like they fought mostly stormtroopers. The death you didn't get as much screen time, and in the scenes that they were, it was mostly dark.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say, dude. Dude, this has nothing to do with action figures, guys. But somebody at Lucasfilm, whoever's in charge of the lighting of the shows, please fire everybody. You know why? Because I feel like Star Wars is all about world building and creatures and aliens, and they bust tons of money into creating like costumes, practical sets, beautiful CGI. And I can't see a lick. I cannot see, and I want to see. Like I want to see the aliens. I want to see the costumes. I'd be watching Mandalorian. I'd be watching freaking what was that show I watched? Skeleton Crew. Cannot see a lick, man.
Skeleton Crew was dark, yeah.
Dude, everybody at the Lucasfilm lighting department. What
they use the volume, dude. They use the volume.
What it is.
All right, let's keep it going here. We got the next one. SM33. Speaking of our Skeleton Crew, $40 for this deluxe Shmi, right? This is great, dude. I love this. This rounds out the Skeleton Crew team, right? You got all of one. You got Neil, you got everyone you need, and now you got SM33, which he's a baller, dude. I love this guy.
Yeah, and I think the paintwork carries on this figure. The paintwork is so good on this figure that I'm really sold. Like, yeah, it's kind of plasticky, but at like the front, I feel like the front, well, not that close up shot. Dude, that's too close. But I think when you look at it from afar, I feel like it looks like metal. As much as like a $25 plastic figure can look like metal. You know what I'm saying? So I think the paintwork goes a long way on this figure. Yeah, dude. And he was a bruiser, man. You got to have this guy.
Yeah, he comes with his peg leg. Cool thing, too, is that you get swap out eyes so you can get the little friend.
With the little rat. That is cool.
Yeah, cool. The little rat thing that hangs out with him. So, and he fits right in there into that eye hole. So,
that is such a little accessory, but I think an essential accessory that the Black Series team got.
You got to have it.
Yeah, good job to them.
He's important. And SM, man, you knock him down, he keep going. He keep getting back up. I love SM33. Next up, we got Star Wars Celebration happening here in May, on May 4th, around that date. And this year it's happening in Japan. So they went ahead and dug deep into the Star Wars Visions line there. And we got the Ronin plus his droid. This will be a convention, or I guess not a convention, the Celebration exclusive. That's what this will be.
Yeah, and probably later solicited on Pulse, as with all Celebration exclusives. And this is a figure that I thought we would not ever get. Like, I'm actually super surprised that we got a Visions figure. And it's kind of cool because we got the twins from Visions from SH Figure Arts, and so now we're starting to get a Visions line. We got a Visions self going on. We got twins. Now we have Ronin.
Yeah, I would love that, man. I think I enjoy Visions just for the purely aesthetic version. Like, love the takes on it, man. Love the stories too.
I think like that's a really good point, because just from a toy aspect, it's gonna work really well for Star Wars, because that's something that kind of Star Wars always lacked and Marvel Legends always had. Because Marvel Legends has different media like movies, comics, cartoon movies, video games. You get really cool, unique figures that are different styles, different aesthetics that kind of Star Wars never really had. So to do that with all those different styles, man, you can just get like fun Star Wars figures. Like this kind of looks like also too, if you guys collect like the Samurai SH Figure Art Star Wars figures,
movie realizations.
Yeah, those ones exactly. Kind of looks like that.
That is fun. But yeah, we can expect either a Hasbro Pulse drop or potentially I did hear some people talk about like just getting it re-released in color version without the soft goods. So we'll see. All right, friends. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this week's show. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Collecting Brothers on the Action Figure Podcast. All right, friends, let us know down below your pick of the week. It was a good week, man. I love hearing about you guys and what you guys are choosing. All right. As always, friends, keep collecting, keep playing, and may the Action Figure gods smile upon you. Peace.